Hey dear IELTS candidates, how are you? I hope you're doing fine today. I'm great and I've prepared a great lesson for you. Today we want to actually work on task achievement, which is one of the most important part of your IELTS writing. And why is it the most important part? Because in task achievement, you will get to know how to choose the correct data, which I think choosing the correct data is the most challenging part in task 1 academic writing. Because you will be given a lot of data and you'll be actually puzzled when so much data is given to you and you don't know what to choose. It is very important. And task achievement, you know, that is one of those 4 areas that you'll be given score. All right. So we talked about task achievement, and it is the first ingredient in your task or writing task 1. All right. So the first question is how to know which information is key. All right. So first of all, I want you to take a look at this bar chart that you see in a video. So here we have a bar chart and it is trend because in the horizontal line, we have date from 1995 to 2002. The following features are important and should be discussed. The following features. What are these features? The first one is starting and ending points. So what is starting point? It's 1995. And what is the ending point? It's 2002. Okay, so this is starting and ending points. The next one is highest and lowest points. So as you see, those circles, red circles, right, show the highest and lowest point. For example, in 1995, the highest point is local fixed line, all right? The next one is, let's say, national and international fixed line, which is around, let's say 38, and the lowest lowest point is mobiles, all right, in 1995. Then throughout the period, the highest point, which we may say reached a peak, which will be discussed later, is in 1999, local fixed line. And at the end of the period, in 2002, again, we will discuss, actually we should discuss the highest and lowest point. Again, the highest point is local fixed line. After that, we have national and international. And the lowest, let's say, lowest point is mobiles. All right. So this is how we analyze the highest and lowest points in a graph or bar chart. Then we have another key feature is turning point. Turning point, as I have circled with purple color. So turning point is maybe when the line graph or bar chart reaches a peak, the highest point. All right. So here, as you see, in 1999, it's a turning point. And a turning point can be a time when, for example, the graph increases to reach a peak, and then it's a kind of downward trend, right? So this is a turning point. What do we mean? So turning point is another key feature that you should include in your task 1 academic writing. Then we have some kind of interesting changes. What are interesting changes? As you see, the green line, right? The green line represents interesting changes. For example, in mobiles, we all throughout the period, throughout this, let's say, 8-year period, we have all the time we have increase. There is an increase throughout the period. So this is a kind of interesting change. All right. Increases up to 2002. And then another interesting change here can be about local fixed lines, which increases and then decreases. All right. This is interesting change. And another key feature is striking differences. Striking differences. What do we mean by striking differences? As you see in 1999, the blue color, which I've circled here, local fixed line and mobiles, striking difference we have here. Local fixed lines stood at around 70 billion minutes, while mobiles stood at around, let's say, 3 billion minutes. All right. So this is a striking difference. Another striking difference is at the end of the period where, for example, mobiles increased, right? Throughout the period, we have a sharp increase in mobiles that in 2002, it was around, let's say, 45 billion minutes. And then again, we have striking difference in mobiles as they increases from 1999 up to 2020, while that of local fixed line decreases. All right. So as we have increase in mobiles, there was decrease in local fixed lines. So these 5 features, remember, should be discussed in trend graphs. So again, we can have a review: starting and ending points, highest and lowest points, turning point, interesting changes, and striking differences. So now let's turn to comparative graphs. In comparative graphs, information is a little bit different because we do not have starting and ending points. We do not have turning point. We do not have interesting changes. We just have highest and lowest points and striking differences. So take a look at this mixed chart. We have pie chart and a table. All right. So what do we do here? How to know which information is key? The first is highest and lowest point, as I've circled with red color. So in pie chart, the lowest point is about the other, all right, which is 7%, and the highest point is overgrazing, all right. And in the table, the lowest point is 5%, all right, in North America, and the highest point is 23% in Europe. All right, so this is highest and lowest point. And striking differences. In the table, we can actually find striking differences. For example, in deforestation, there is a kind of striking difference between North America and that of Europe. So this is one striking difference. Another striking difference is in overgrazing, which in North America it is stood at around 1.5, while in Oceania it was around 11.3. And another striking difference is in total land degraded, which is 5% in North America and 23% in Europe. This is a kind of striking difference that we may find in talking about mixed chart or comparative charts or graphs. So we know that we know how to find key information. Now, accuracy is another important feature that you should consider in task achievement. What is accuracy? Accuracy is you should make sure that you use the correct units of measurement. Correct units of measurement. And use words like approximately, about, around, or nearly to avoid inaccuracy, right? So we turn to our previous bar chart, as you see here. So if look at this question, take a look at this question. In 1999, as you see, local fixed line calls reached a peak of 90 billion minutes. This is a correct sentence, all right? It is accurate. However, these two sentences that I will give you now are incorrect. For example, this one. In 1999, local fixed line calls reached a peak of 90 minutes. This is incorrect because I have not provided a correct units of measurement. It is in billion. Okay, so when you say 90 minutes, it does not make sense. 90 minutes. It is 90 billion minutes. And again, look at this sentence. In 1999, local fixed line calls reached a peak of 90. So 90 what? 90 minutes, 90 hours, 90 seconds. So remember and make sure to use correct units of measurement. And take a look at this sentence. Mobiles surged, look at the data, in use from about 3 billion minutes in 1995 to nearly 45 billion minutes in 2002. This is correct because the number is around or about, right? It's not 3 billion minutes, right? It's about or around 3 billion minutes. However, this sentence is incorrect. Look at this sentence. Mobiles surged in use from 3 billion minutes in 1995 to 45 billion minutes in 2020. This is incorrect. So you will lack mark if you use data and you do not use adverbs like approximately, roughly, nearly, about, around. Just if you are sure and if on the graph you are 100% sure that the data is correct and it is exactly, for example, 50 billion minutes, in this case you can use. For example, in 1999, it is 90 billion minutes, and we are sure. But in 1998, it is not 90 billion minutes. It is about 90 billion minutes. So be very careful. If you are not sure that the amount of time or amount of money or amount of minutes, anything that you are going to analyze, if you are not sure about the number, be very careful to use adverbs like roughly, nearly, about. We will discuss this in detail in our next, actually, forthcoming videos. So don't hassle and we'll have time to cover these things. And another thing which is very important in task achievement is your structure. Right now, I will give you an overview of our structure, and we will actually work on it later. We will have 4 paragraphs. 4 paragraphs we will have in our task 1 academic writing. Our first paragraph is our introduction, which in our introduction, we paraphrase the question in our own language, all right, and in our own words. Okay, so we use the data from the question, but we paraphrase it and we use our own words. All right. Our second paragraph will be our overview. All right. So an overview, we will actually describe the start and end and the highest and lowest data points. All right. Paragraph 3 and paragraph 4 will be key details of our graph or a map or a process, all right? So what we do in paragraph 3 and paragraph 4 is that we split the infographic into two halves, right? And describe the key points and key numeric details in the first half and the second half, right? So we split it into two, let's say, halves. So this is what we do in our third and fourth paragraph. And this structure allows you to address all parts of the task and clearly present your ideas. And by doing so, you will be able to get good grade in task achievement. So in IELTS Task 1 writing, academic writing, you will have 4 paragraphs: introduction, overview, paragraph 3 and 4, in which you actually give information about key details of the chart or graph. All right, this is the end of today's session. We talked about task achievement. Our next part will be about coherence and cohesion and how to have good command of language related to coherence and cohesion. We will talk about cohesive devices in our next part. So stay tuned. I hope you have enjoyed today's lesson. Goodbye.